Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick is a
filmmaker.
Stanley Kubrick's film producer.
Stanley Kubrick is a director.
He's a man who makes films.
He's a filmmaker.
A very well-known director.
Enfant terrible of 70s cinema, really.
Famous director.
He's a fantastic filmmaker.
And is he an author maybe as well? Has he written books perhaps? Or maybe I'm wrong there, I don't know.
Does he direct or write?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think he directs.
I know he's a producer and director.
A famous filmmaker.
I don't know if he's so famous.
I'd like to know what nationality he is as well.
A British filmmaker.
He's a famous British film producer.
He was an English director.
What do you reckon? Is he American? No, with a name like Kubrick, it's an unusual surname, isn't it?
Russian?
Filmmaker, English one, I think.
Polish? I don't know.
American one.
American or English?
American one, and it's like one of the most famous filmmaker of the last century, really.
I think one of the most influential film directors of our time.
He has made a lot of different movies.
Unusual films. Films with a difference.
Very, very different to a lot of the people of his time.
Films you remember.
Dystopian society.
Give you glimpses of characters and people that you wouldn't normally want to even see.
Quite perverse, lots of nudity, but very interesting.
I guess if you're studying films, like you'd study him because he was like one of a kind.
His movies were quite outstanding, really. They were like really good at bringing music and film together at the same time.
Every single minute and second is kind of planned.
Incredibly meticulous in what he did in his films.
And when he edited it, he would go back like hours and hours and just edit things really carefully.
I think he was famous because of originality. I mean, I don't think he took anything from anybody. I think he made it his way or no way at all.
I think visually, he was very, very cutting edge.
Quite groundbreaking guy.
Did he pioneer some sort of shots and how you can speed up sort of the background by making the background look a little bit faster and that sort of thing?
It's a really original take on filmmaking, and he set the trend for a lot of other people to follow.
Diversity in his work is, well, very wide. He goes through so many different genres.
He was trying to make the perfect film in every genre.
I think he's a bit like David Lynch, because you don't understand it. You want to watch it again and again and again, and people talk about it.
He was one of the last directors that spent time to build that up and to not like make audiences like just look down on them, but actually give them the credibility of having that intellectual capacity to know what they're looking at.
So a lot of directors get this illusion, a lot in Hollywood, that things have to be as close to reality as possible, but he's nothing like that.
I was a 70s child, King's Road, and he was just part of all that.
Is he still alive?
He's died already.
He died a few years ago, I believe.
He died last year that he died. It wasn't that long ago that he died, is it?
I think it was about 2 years ago.
He died a few years ago, I can't remember exactly when. Too bad he's dead.
It's a shame he's not with us anymore, that's all I can say.
He was quite reclusive. There was a kind of air of mystery about him, which I think people were intrigued about.
It was very difficult to get interviews with him, and he was a very eccentric character. What do you look like?
Oh.
Well, I can't describe him, no.
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen a photograph of him.
Wouldn't even know if you threw a picture in front of us.
Hard to describe.
There aren't that many photos of him.
It's quite short.
Shorter guy.
He was quite shortish. Don't know.
He's quite a hefty man with a beard.
Quite a big bulk.
A bit obese, quite fat, I think.
No, I imagine he's quite a portly fellow.
Small, roundish type guy. He had sort of long dark hair.
I think he was dark hair, around his face.
Black hair?
Black hair.
Longish hair.
Grey hair.
Dark hair, sort of.
Old boy, grey hair.
Like
salt,
crazy.
pepper, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
like-
Did he have a beard?
Probably got a moustache.
Wearing black. Yeah, I had a moustache in my head.
Did he have a beard as well? I think he had a beard.
A lot of beard. Beard.
He had like a beard.
Hair, goatee.
Greyish beard, longish face.
With a beard and bald.
Balding, slowly,
balding a little bit at the front.
I have a feeling that he may have been bald at some point.
I think he wore glasses.
He was like a kind of a pixie or dwarf with his beard and his glasses.
A bit dishevelled looking.
Yeah, he wasn't an attractive guy.
He didn't look like a director.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Orange Clockwork.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
It's the best film by a long way.
It's one of those films that people sort of rave on about as you have to see this film,
10, 15 years ahead of his time.
Disturbing yet funny at times, I suppose.
It's very bizarre.
Preparing us for a little bit of ultra-violence.
It was going to change society and lead it into bedlam.
When it came out, I think it shocked a lot of people.
And the British government only really kind of freed it up a few years ago, and it was, now it's considered quite a docile film, I'd imagine.
I think it got banned from everything, didn't it? And then as soon as he died, it was brought out again.
Which is banned in a lot of countries, but it's like one of those cult films. And
Kind of having read the book, I think it's just a really excellent realisation of that, and Thamesmead is brilliant in it. And
I thought it had some really interesting criminal justice type issues in it.
It's kind of like a bit of a warning about the times we live in, because there's more and more laws and it could well happen if we're not too careful.
One of my favourite acts in it.
I've only seen the poster for it.
What's his name now? I forgot his name.
Malcolm McDowell, wasn't it?
That's the one, Malcolm McDowell, yeah.
Like the strange language they have. That's the only thing I can think of.
Giddy and things like
Yeah.
But the fact he invented his own, kind of the own language sort of stuff that he managed to convey in the film is absolutely brilliant.
Yarbles.
Yarbles, yeah.
Yarbles tea, yeah. With the old music turned into this kind of mad soundtrack to this guy's insanity. The main character is really sort of obsessed with Beethoven and things like that, but then he just goes on these mad killing sprees.
Alex and his 3 droogs.
Alex got the eyes open.
Keeping his eyes open and...
Eyes drops going in and watching the film screen with bombs going off and stuff like that.
Got the weird mascara thing. Stuff going on.
I love the milk bar, so funky.
The guy with the white face and the star around his eye, yeah.
The statue of a penis.
Is it in the Orange film that there's a lot of snakes?
The Shining.
He did The Shining.
The Shining.
Shining?
The Shining.
The Shining.
Shining.
Do they know The Shining?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
The Shining.
The Shining.
I didn't know that was Kubrick.
Damn spooky film that was.
Scary.
One of the scariest films I've ever seen. It was freaky.
It used to scare the hell out of me as a youngster.
The scariest thing in the world.
The violence was portrayed in a very well-considered way.
Scariest film we could think of without being any blood.
It's not, pop out of the closet or really gory.
It's the only film that Stephen King's books were made to actually make a good film.
Yeah.
In the maze, in the hotel grounds. I remember the adverts coming on when they was advertising it and jumping on my dad's knee because it was when the kid was running through the maze.
These bizarre images of the twins and
starts repeating that thing he's typed out on his thing over and over again.
And the little boy in the bicycle and the blood dripping over it.
I quite like the fact that they were stranded up in this beautiful place, but it proved not to be.
The imagery it spoke louder than the actual dialogue.
It sounded very important in that movie. And
it was this long, slow film, building up the tension where he just reels you in. It's the kind of film that you can't stop watching.
it's Robert De Niro. No,
Jack Nicklaus.
who was in Shining?
Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
And Jack Nicholson is amazing.
Here comes Jack.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, of course.